Okay, example 3 asks us to find the inverse of a logarithmic function. Again, I'm going to rewrite this as y equals instead of g of x equals. So it's going to be y equals log of x plus 5 base 7. Notice this x plus 5 is in the parentheses, right? So there's nothing weird going on here. It's just log of something base something equals something, right? I want to make an exponent, or I want to make an inverse function here. So everything that's not x and y stays exactly as it is. Equals log base 7, parentheses, plus 5, all stays the same. Y becomes x, x becomes y. That's how we make an inverse function. Everything stays exactly the same. X becomes y, y becomes x. That's all you have to do. My task is to get this to say y equals. So to get y equals, currently y is living inside a logarithm. So I need to get y outside the logarithm. So I'm going to rewrite it as an exponential function. So to write logarithmic to exponential, I take the base 7 to the power x equals the argument y plus 5. I'm going from logarithmic to exponential. It's going to be 7 to the x power equals y plus 5. Again, my whole goal there was to get y out of the logarithm, be able to get y equals out of this. What's left to do now is I got to move the 5 over, so 7 to the x power is over here, minus 5 equals y. And notice, it's not x minus 5 power, it's 7 to the x power, and then minus 5 is being subtracted from 7 to the x power. And again, good inverse notation. My initial function was called g of x. My inverse function is going to be g inverse of x. So it's going to be g minus 1 of x equals 7 to the x power minus 5. Real quick, just because this is going to happen in your homework, let me throw a what if at you to see how to handle that scenario. So what if this is your problem? Suppose we have h of x equals, let's go 3 log of 7 minus x. Let's say something like that. Whatever it is, doesn't matter. All right. So suppose that's that. What's different about this is the 3 in front of the logarithm. All right. So if I write it first of all as y equals 3 log of 7 minus x. To make the inverse function, everything's the same except y becomes x, x becomes y. The slight difference between this one and the previous one is I can't change this to exponential form yet because there's this 3 in front of the logarithm. I want the log all by itself equal to something. I don't care what the something is, but log all by itself equals something. So I'm going to do divided by 3 on both sides. So x over 3 equals log of 7 minus y. I might, just for the sake of being able to see it, write my base 10 in. Because it is a base 10 logarithm, it's understood to be base 10, right? So now when I rewrite it as exponential form, it's going to be 10 to the x over 3 power equals 7 minus y. So again, because the 3 is there, I got to divide by 3 first. I want log equals something before I do this change to exponential form. I don't want things being multiplied, divided out, or subtracted to it. Right? And then I would probably move the y to the left to make it positive, which means move that to the right. So I'd end up with positive y equals 7 minus 10 to the x over 3 power. So h inverse of x equals 7 minus 10 to the x over 3 power. Do not be tempted to subtract 7 and 10 to get 3, or negative 3. 10 is being raised to a power, 7 isn't. They cannot interact with one another. All right, so again, you might have a situation where you have to simplify a little bit first. If there was a plus 5 over here, so there's a plus 5 here, there's a plus 5 here, I got to move the 5 over here first before I rewrite the logarithm. And then divide the whole thing by 3. So again, you want log all by itself. So if things being added, subtracted, multiplied, divided need to come over here first, then you transform it into an exponential. Right. If there's stuff happening to your exponential expression, add, subtract, multiply, divide, get it over there first before you change the logarithmic. Right. You want log equals something, power expression equals something. You don't want stuff attached to those things before you start rearranging it. Right. So be careful of that with those. Beyond that, that's all they are. Make the inverse, solve for y, write the answer in proper form. All right.